Carbonites Gaming.
Welcome back, Knights, to another Summoners War video with myself, TorchHealer. Last week we were looking at TOA, so kind of the stages 1 through 9 on each level, right? So 1 through 9, 11 through 19, 21 through 29, etc. This week, I figured we would take a gander at the big boss. Now there's two of them, as anybody that may have completed TOA knows. They each have kind of their own quirks. So I figured this week, let's take a look at the male boss, right? So there's two of them. There's a male and a female. It's the only way I know them. I don't know their names. I don't really care to know their names. Names are difficult. So what I did was, I'm going to check that. I created a team that is free to play, and I was testing it out, and it works, right? So as per usual, these are the runes that I'm using on these monsters, just so that, if people are saying, oh, I don't have the rune quality, you might not, and that just means you get to farm a bit more. But as you can see, I have a couple +9s on here. What do we have? So speed with a lot of HP for some reason, HP, and defense. This is my Veramos, obviously. So speed, HP, speed and HP and defense, speed, and accuracy. It's nice to land the dots, and you'll see why once we get going. The Beretta, I've never actually used this in a TOA team. I built it to use it for my TOA hard team, and then never used it. So slots 2, it's not a bad rune. 4, once again, not a bad rune. And 6, defense. So you can see a lot of this is survival, right? And that's just because with the main boss, survival is a big thing. I didn't show the 135s, I guess I can do that. There's 1, speed, crit rate, attack. I don't know why that's on him. 3, speed, accuracy is good because he does dots, and he's on despair so he can stun. He also has, with his second skill, he can reduce the attack bar to 0 with a fixed chance. And then 5. So once again, not a great rune. It is 6-star, I know. I have farmed a lot for my 6-star runes. I don't know why I got rid of you. And that's the thing, is, as long as you complete your daily quests every day, you have the chance at a 5 and a 6-star rune. You're guaranteed a 5-star rune, but you have the chance for a 6-star or, at least a rare, right? A 5-star rare rune. And if you're newer to the game, that 5-star rare rune is going to be huge for you. So this is my friend. Once again, not very fast, sort of tanky-ish. It's only got 21,000 HP, which isn't a whole lot. But it'll be a speed, probably HP, speed, HP, attack. And the reason I have it on attack is because her heal is based off attack. I don't use this in any PvP stuff. I just use her in, things where I can't be outsped, right? So I don't use her in RTA. I might use her in PvP, but usually it'll be dungeons or maybe Guild Wars, and that's it. Lauren. Now, Lauren is extremely underrated. Not enough people use her, and as you see, 18,000, 19,000 HP, and defense, right? So speed, defense, HP, right? And then speed, and defense and speed. And those are kind of the things you're looking for your support monsters, right? Now, I'll tell you right now, this is going to be the fastest TOA clear ever. But I'll manual it, and I'll go through it with you guys right away here. And I'll show you how I use this team, right? And then, last but not least, the Second Awakened Crow. Now, Second Awakened Crow, really, really good. If you can, you can farm. All these monsters are farmable. Secret dungeons or fusible monsters, right? So everybody has the opportunity to get these. Everybody has the opportunity to Second Awaken Crow. everybody has the same chances to use these monsters. I've looked back at some of the comments in my old videos, and people are saying that I'm using, pay to win monsters, and there's no way you're free to play, and blah 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 blah. So these are all obtainable by everybody at any level, essentially. And as you can see, I don't have it on a set of runes. I don't have it on Fatal. I don't have it on Rage. I just threw a bunch of runes on to actually level him up, and then this is what I came out with. So it'll be attack, crit damage, and attack with some crit rate subs. Get some crit rate subs in there, bit of speed, better crit rate and speed. You can't get attack on slot 3, so it didn't really make a difference to me. And then crit rate, no speed, but I could get rid of the HP, but I kind of like the fact he's got a bit of HP. Not a whole lot. He's only got like 3,000 extra. So this is a team that has the ability to beat TOA hard. Or TOA 100, not hard. It'd be a cold day in hell when this beats TOA hard. But let's take a look at it. Let's start off with it and see where we are going with it. Alright, so first and foremost, I know there are different monsters at the boss stages, and I know that they can cause a lot of people some issues. So I figured after this video, I want to do one on the female boss as well. We'll keep going with this as I'm chatting away. And I might take a look through all of the monsters that have difficult, or all of the floors that have difficult boss stages. So usually the Artemil, the Wind Monkey, and the Light, whatever the hell that thing is a difficult stage. So I wouldn't mind taking some time, and if you guys want to see that, kind of what I would use in a free-to-play setting, not using the normal monsters that I would use here, let me know. Alright? So, as you can see, Crow does damage based on the number of dots on the enemy. Second skill with Beretta, hopefully, decreases attack bar to 0. Now, that might not seem very important right now, but once we get to that boss stage, it makes a big, big difference, right? And then let's take a look at Crow's third skill, see if he crits. So, with attack buff, on those runes that I showed everybody, that was 110,000 damage on TOA floor 100, right? And he's not on any sets, he's not built overly strong, he's just attack, crit damage, and attack. Not fast, but effective, right? And that's the thing is, like I've said in previous videos, if you are looking for monsters to use, right, that, I don't have a violent set for this monster, I don't have a damage dealing set for this monster. Nobody's saying that you have to use a full set. Obviously, you're going to get better stats, better perks from it, but you can use whatever runes you have that are going to give you the chances, or not the chances, the stats that you want, I suppose. So as you see, I kind of pick off each one individually, right? And then once you kind of get down, if you can knock down one or two right away, you can use Lorne to crowd control and keep those attack bars decreased. Same with Fran, same with Beretta, and you can keep the stuns going with Beretta as well as Veramos, right? So this part might be a little challenging for people. They all have revives. There can essentially be revive after revive after revive, right? So the first things we're hoping for are some stuns and some dots. So got one stun, got a few dots. For those of you that don't know, dot is actually damage over time. It's not just a random thing that I like saying. So once again, more stuns, and then we'll use this scar and see if we can get rid of one right away. Once again, 137,000 damage on complete broken sets. Like absolute broken sets. There is no way that, you can't find attack, crit damage, and attack rune sets to help you do what you need to do, right? So with looking at this team, there are, heals. Obviously, you're going to want heals. There's a cleanse with the Veramos. There's attack buff. There's attack. I don't know if I. Oh yeah, I guess Lauren could do an attack break. But there's the heal block, as you see on that Conrad, right? The light Death Knight that I just took out. So that little cross, that heal block, is really important when it comes to the boss, right? So he has the chance to heal up. Same with the, not necessarily same with the other one, but once we start looking at the female boss, she also has that chance to heal up and just kind of prolong that fight. And of course, you don't want that, right? The longer you're in the fight, the better chance you have at losing the fight. So there we go. We've made it from the start to the boss. And now, what do we do, right? So you look, there's the 2 crystals. Now, every time that crystal makes a full attack bar, right? So the blue line there, every time that fills up, the big boss gets a turn, or at least it increases his attack bar, right? And the point that we want is to reduce attack bars. So I have everybody almost at full HP. I have all of my skills. As you saw with the last monster, I usually keep that last monster alive just to make sure all my skills are refreshed. I'm not wasting my 3rd skill, my big damage skills, right? My immunity, my attack power, I'm not wasting those on that last monster. I can use dots to take it out, try and keep it stunned, and control it so that I have all the skills that I want to use ready to go. So let's start working on it, right? So let's do 2nd skill, see if we can get, there we go. So the defense break is big, right? Now for those of you that don't know, you can only put 10 debuffs on an enemy at any time, right? Now nothing here can be stunned, but we do have that big 3rd skill from Crow. Now he doesn't have as many debuffs on him, so let's hit it. 46,000, and as you can see, that did not take a whole lot away from that crystal, right? So boss uses that big main skill. We're going to use our 2nd skill, Turbulence, to get that attack bar gone on that 2nd crystal, right? Now everything's at low attack bars. You know, we have monsters that reduce attack bars. We have monsters that, you know, put the dots up there that we need. Let's get more dots. Let's see if we can reduce this attack bar a bit more and get that slow. Perfect, right? Now that boss has a slow. He's moving, you know, 2/3 his normal speed, I do believe. So that gives us more time to put damage on these crystals. So let's keep hammering away at these crystals. Obviously, the damage over time is based off of if the enemy gets a turn, right? So if this enemy gets a turn, it's going to lose a little bit of health. It's not going to do as well. But the goal is to keep things controlled, right? The dots are essentially our get out of jail free card, right? So if we can't get enough damage down to, you know, get rid of that crystal, right? That was a pretty good swipe by Crow. Then those dots are going to trickle down and do what we need them to do, right? So keep that immunity up. See if we can get a bit of a cheeky thing there, not happening, right? So now boss is looking at moving, right? Keep putting dots on these 3rd one or this other crystal. Now, what do you do, right? We have a bunch of dots on the left crystal. That right crystal's looking, it could use some more damage. I want to hit that with Crow so that I can let the dots finish it off. Let's just keep controlling this boss attack bar, right? Now he is going to revenge, and he does cleanse, I do believe, every turn that he takes, right? So once again, we're keeping those attack bars at bay, right? We have our backup plan. As you saw, that crystal took a turn, filled up the boss's attack bar, right? So this is not what we want to be seeing, but once again, we do have ways of dealing with this. We can try and reduce his attack bar a bit more, right? Reduce that 2nd crystal's attack bar a bit more, hit it with that Crow, and there we go, right? So we're still kind of back into that control aspect, right? Get a bit of immunity, bit of buffs up, get more damage to that other crystal. So now both crystals, next time either crystal's attack bar fills up, it's done, right? So we'll keep chipping away at this one just so that we're sure, because we don't want any surprises. We can use our Turbulence to take that boss's attack bar right down to 0. Done, right? So I think we are good on the crystal aspects. Give them one more swipe. There. So I think each dot, each little skull, will do 5% damage, right? And the one on the right has no HP left. It's done. The one on the left, we're taking away, what's that, 7? So 30% of the HP. I think we're safe on that aspect. Now we can start looking at the boss. And here's the big issue with this boss, is he attacks, or he revenges, every turn, right? But, you get some good damage in, and once again, none of my monsters have a whole ton of damage, as you probably saw. But we're keeping his attack bar below where he can control what attack he does, right? So I'm going to save my Scar. I want to wait until I have an attack buff, right? Obviously, it's an attack-based move. I want as much attack with that as I can get. Right, let's just do this. I don't know why. You can't put dots on the bosses in any stage, but it does kind of feel nice to watch that Phoenix go. So, we are now in control of everything, right? We're controlling that attack bar, bringing that monster down. We can team up, see if we can get a cheeky little bit of damage there. All right, got our attack buff. So that next turn, we're using Crow's Scar. We're going to see what we can get with it, right? So now, that boss's attack bar has not come above 50%. And if it does, I'm keeping that second skill on Beretta to just drop it right back down to 0, right? So let's see. Scar does more damage with more effects, and it can leave branding, which just gives us more damage. So Scar hits that main boss for a fair amount, right? I didn't see the numbers. You guys can pause, look back. It's enough, right? Another good monster is Spectra, the fire bird, Bernard, whatever Bernard is, Griffin. The fire Griffin Spectra, you can second awaken Spectra as well. And all second awaken monsters, not all, but those two in particular, Crow as well as Spectra, are amazing for bosses like this. Right? So now you can see he's got 0 HP. He hasn't taken a turn. We've controlled this entire battle. All he's done is revenged us. One more last hit. Let's just drop him with this. There we go. TOA 100 in the normal aspect. Done. Right? We've controlled everything. We weren't really in peril at all. There was very little chance we were going to lose any of our monsters. But we were doing big damage, and it's utilizing your buffs and your debuffs to make sure that you are controlling what you want to control, right? So, like I said before, the fewer turns the enemy gets, the harder it is for them to kill you. So hopefully this gives you guys a bit of a hand. I think next week I'm going to take a look at some of the other stages. So I'll go through the TOA normal this month and look at some of the boss stages and where they can be a bit of a pain, right? So there's a few. I fought one today. Like I said before, I only ever do TOA 70 on hard, just to get the Devilmon. And I did that today, and it was a pretty tricky team. So we'll look through some of those next week. Let me know if there's any boss stages that you personally have problems with. Hopefully I can look through it, give you kind of my advice. I'll do it on the TOA normal part just because hopefully more beginners are looking into TOA, realizing it's not that big of a hill to climb, right? You farm a bit of runes, hopefully you're looking back at previous videos to get those tips on how to do Giants B10 and Dragons B10 and Necro B10, and using those to advance yourself farther, all right? So hopefully this gives you a hand, or helps somebody out a little bit. Like, comment, subscribe, all that normal YouTube stuff. It does help us out a ton if you guys subscribe. Even if you just jump on there, give a thumbs up, and then call Poseidon a dick. I'm totally okay with it. But I suppose until next time, everybody, keep playing, keep farming those runes, and keep those shields up. Well, Knights, you made it all the way to the end. You know what that means. You've won the chance to watch another one of our videos, or perhaps even subscribe. Make sure to leave a comment, and we'll see you next time.